Hey everyone, Eclectic Candyman here. I have my Craftsman weed trimmer, and last week while using it, I noticed something was leaking on me, and upon further investigation, if we can see right there, that fuel line, the clear one, has a crack in it. So this is a pretty easy job to replace. All we're going to need is, I just bought this fuel kit at Home Depot for about $3. It has 2 sizes of fuel lines in it, so that'll take care of it. A pair of needle nose pliers so we can pull off the old line, and something to trim the line to length that we need. So what happens here is the fuel line goes from the carburetor right there into the fuel tank, and it's just squeezed in there. And I'm not sure if we can actually see, but in the back of there, the fuel line does go in about a ½ inch. So we'll cut it to length and we will replace this. So let's go ahead and pull off the old one. All right, so I got my needle nose pliers, and I'm just going to gently pull off. Actually, I'll just go ahead and rip off that to give me a little clearance, and then there we go. Starting to come off. It's probably a little bit caked on there. Oh, this one, in this case, since it's not, obviously we're replacing it, I can go ahead, and it looks like it's caked on there a little bit, so there we go. I'm just going to have to clean it off. All right, so just got a little screwdriver. Normally this step may have not been required, but as you can see right in there, that last little piece got stuck on there, and so I wasn't able to pull it off directly. All right, now we need to pull it out of the tank up here, and the way to do that is just to squeeze it. And again, this is not the one on the fuel filter side, so this is just an extra piece, and it went ahead and detached there, and so I can either let that drop in and then pull it back out from the other side, or I can actually pull that right on out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and empty out the tank because the other side of the fuel line that I cut off ended up falling into the tank, and then I'll be able to retrieve that, making sure that I slowly drain out the tank with just the liquid. And then I'll be able to just turn this tank upside down. All right. We got that out. And we can see that the little piece from the other end, there we go. And this is the piece that goes up from the inside. All right. So since this is the fuel return line, and not the, this is the actual line that has the fuel filter on the bottom of the tank. And that's a little more challenging to replace. Had that been broken, I would have needed a fuel line installation tool or replace this tank that already has the preset lines in it. But since this is just the return line, all this does is returns fuel back into here. So even this was the original adapter that was up inside, which the fuel line went to. But as per the instructions, really all I need to do, because again, this is the return line, is just stick this 1 inch down into the tank, which really emulates how this worked anyway. Because I don't have a way to get inside that tank and actually hold that in position, and it won't slip back down through the hole. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take the old line to use as a gauge, and I'm going to add extra. Obviously, the amount that needed to go into the tank, plus the original amount, plus a little bit of extra, and go ahead and make a nice clean cut. And now we'll get down in here. Yeah, and so I'm just pushing that on, and it'll get all the way to the end there. All right. And then I'll come around to the other side, and I'll need to pinch this through. And the easiest way is I'll just go ahead and get my needle nose pliers again to squeeze the end to get it started, and then I'll be able to push that through. And it could be a little stubborn, like it's a small hole meant to be tight for the fitment. so that because it creates a nice seal on there. Okay, so one trick to get this to fit in, because obviously the hole is going to be smaller to create that seal, is to cut it at an angle. And what that'll allow it to do is make it a lot easier. So if you can see that angle, to get it started. So I'll get it started on the bottom. Because otherwise trying to put the whole thing in at once will not work that well. And there, it's in. So now it's a matter of just working it in, just a millimeter at a time, until you've got this in. About an inch is what they're calling for. And it's a nice tight seal. Again, this is the fuel return line right here. And so we've got that, and we focus in, we've got that inserted right back in. So we just need to make sure that we've got an inch, and we can kind of view it from this backside right here. And then of course we have it all the way on that nipple on the carburetor. And that's how we replace, for just a couple of dollars, this broken return fuel line on this Craftsman weed trimmer. This is the Eclectic Handyman. Hope this helped.